Good morning, this is Jim, 5714 Collector, bringing you another video. We are on part number 33 of the 1972 Topps baseball card set. So we're working our way through the series. This morning we've got cards number 427 to 436. So we got about 300 and some odd cards to go. So still a lot of weeks ahead of us, but certainly been having a lot of fun. Certainly been enjoying reading the comments. And I really appreciate each and every one of them. And one of my commenters, Todd, was saying I may have to do one whole video when I get to Nolan Ryan. And I'm thinking maybe we will do a little extra time on Mr. Ryan just because, one, he's my favorite player. So I might have to do that. So really enjoyed hearing that comment, Todd. So thank you very much for the suggestion. This morning we're going to start with card number 427, and that is Tito Fuentes. Here with the San Francisco Giants. There's the front of Tito's card. Here's the back. As we work our way through the 72 set, it's been a lot of fun. I'm certainly enjoying it. Again, got to make sure I thank Baseball Reference, Wikipedia. They all come in handy. I go back and forth between the two of them and try to glean some information. Also, these 10 cards today, we have 5 player cards and 5 in-action cards. So on the regular cards, I did the normal, what they did during their major league career. And then in their in-action cards, I kind of did it backwards. I did what they performed, like whether it was like high school or college or the minors and all that. But stick with me and we'll have some fun this morning. Again, we're going to talk about Tito Fuentes. And that's just his regular base card. So we're going to talk about that. So he finished third in the National League Rookie of the Year voting in 1966. He hit .261 in 133 games. So he had a really, really good rookie season with the Giants. He hit a 2-run home run in Game 1 of the 71 National League Championship Series against the Pirates. That was the only win for the Giants in that series against Pittsburgh. He led National League second baseman in fielding percentage with a .993 mark. And this was the highest percentage at the time and stood for 13 years. He did that prior to Ron Sandberg, who broke that record with a .994 percentage. So that's pretty impressive, that it took 13 years to up at 1/100th of a percentage point. So pretty impressive. And Willie Mays' debut game with the Mets on May 14, 1972, Tito, who was playing for the visiting Giants at the time, had 4 hits, including a home run and a walk, and 5 plate appearances. So that's a pretty cool little trivia question. When Mays went over to the Mets from the Giants, Tito had a great game for Willie's old team. So let's show Tito's in-action card. This is pretty cool. Base runner coming in and breaking up the double play. That's pretty awesome. And the back has Rick Wise hits the Reds and hits 2 home runs. Now, what I don't know is why they didn't talk about the player that they're featuring on the card. So that would be an interesting question to ask Topps. It's like, shouldn't you be talking about Tito Fuentes? But they're talking about Rick Wise. So there's his in-action card. So we'll talk about his pre-major league days. So he was signed by the Giants as an 18-year-old amateur before the start of the 1962 season. And here's something that's interesting. Now, Tito Fuentes, along with Bert Campaneris, were playing with the Cuban national baseball team at the time of the 1961 Amateur World Series. He was one of the last baseball players signed directly out of Cuba in the immediate aftermath of the Cuban Revolution. So that's pretty cool. I found that on Baseball Reference. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And he was playing with Bert Campaneris, who was a great shortstop for Oakland. So card number 429 is Bob Robertson, here with Pittsburgh. And he had a couple nice years with the Pirates. There's the back of his card. And we'll talk about Mr. Robertson. So in the 1971 National League Championship Series, Bob hit 3 home runs in Game 2 against the Cincinnati Reds. And he also had a double in the game. So he's talking about a nice game. 4 base hits. And he had, what is that? That's 14 total bases. and it set the record for total bases in a postseason game. So pretty impressive. Bob also had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in the 71 World Series against the Orioles. So very impressive postseason in 1971 for Bob Robertson. He hit his last major league home run when he was playing with the Toronto Blue Jays on April 29, 1979. And he hit 115 career home runs. So he had a nice career, Mr. Robertson did. And his was cut short by injuries, too. So here's his in-action card. Looks like the pitcher's trying to pick off the base runner. There's Bob right there in his Pirates uniform. And the back of this card says, Gibson pitches no-hitters against the Bucks. So that's what the back of the card looks like. Again, they're not talking about Bob Robertson. They're talking about the other Bob. So, anyway, Bob Robertson, his in-action card. Let's talk about him. He debuted with the Salem Pirates in 1964. He hit .302 with 13 home runs. He hit over 30 home runs in 3 different minor league seasons. So, quite a bit of power there. And he hit 130 minor league home runs. That's pretty cool. And it's amazing what you can find when you look up their minor league stats, too, because that's what I did. So card number 431 is Cito Gaston. Here with San Diego, and everybody knows Cito from his managing days with the Toronto Blue Jays. But that's a cool-looking card, too. Look how sharp that is. Love that pose. There's the back of Cito's card there. That right there. And again, that's card number 431. In 1970, Cito made his only All-Star appearance, All-Star team. He hit .318. He had 29 home runs and 93 RBIs. He played 11 Major League Baseball seasons and had 799 career hits and hit 91 home runs. He managed the Toronto Blue Jays for a total of 12 years, from 1989 to 1997. And from 2008 to 2010, he became the first African-American manager to win a World Series. And his Blue Jays won back-to-back titles in 1992 and 1993. So pretty impressive. He was a great, great manager and a very good player, too. So here's Cito's in-action card. I'll show the back of that here in a minute. Brinkman's first error in 57 consecutive games. So we're going to talk about Eddie Brinkman on the back. So I just think that's hilarious. But again, Cito Gaston in-action card. And you wonder why the 72 top set has 787 cards? Because we have, I forget how many action cards it is. It's got to be 30 or 40. I have not counted that. So let's talk about Cito prior to hitting the majors. He signed with the Milwaukee Braves on March 22nd, 1964. He made his debut with the Binghamton Triplets. Now, that's an interesting name. He played 11 games for them and had 49 games with the Greenville Braves, batting .230. So, okay, so not too bad. You know, that would have been, not a bad debut in 1964. In 1966, he played for the Batavia Trojans, and this was in the Class A New York Penn League. He led the league in homers with 28 and RBIs with 104. So really nice minor league season for him. I got these mixed up a little bit. Let me fix this up here real quick. Yep, okay. So we come to our 2 Hall of Famers and 2 great Hall of Famers. This is pretty cool here. So card number 433 is the great Johnny Bench, who played his whole career with the Cincinnati Reds. And I know there's some glare on that, but I apologize for that. But there's the great Johnny Bench, and that's a beautiful card. And there's the back. We'll talk about Mr. Bench here in a second. So there's a lot of things you can say about Johnny Bench, and there's a lot of stuff on Baseball Reference. If you have time, go in and read some of that, okay? When you get some time, please take a look at that. So Johnny got his first major league hit on August 30th, 1967, off of Chris Short of the Phillies. He hit his first home run off the Braves' Jim Britton on September 20th. So same year, so that's pretty cool. He became the first rookie catcher ever to win a Gold Glove for his defense. I did not know that. That's pretty impressive. He started his first All-Star game in 1969, and Johnny got a home run and had a single in the game. That's a pretty good debut All-Star game, right? On July 26, 1970, he hit 3 home runs off of Steve Carlton in the same game. That's really impressive. On September 29th, 1983, in his final Major League at bat, Johnny had a pinch hit, 2-run single off the Giants' Mark Calvert. Little side notes here for Mr. Bench. Rookie of the Year, 2-time MVP, 10-time Gold Glove winner. It's all on the back of the card. That's pretty cool. Now, I knew, of course, he was a 2-time MVP because he won it in 1970 and 1972. And if I remember correctly, Billy Williams of the Cubs finished second both seasons. So, if I remember correctly. Here's Johnny's in-action card, and it still has a price on the back of it. So, we're not going to worry about that. But there's the in-action card. And we got Mike Epstein homers in 4 consecutive games on the back with the price. So I've had this card for some time. It's got a date of 8/7/13 on it. So I've had this card in my collection a long time. So Johnny Bench's in-action card. Let's talk about that a little bit. So he was selected by the Cincinnati Reds in the June 1965 amateur draft in the second round. Can you believe he lasted into the second round? He was the 36th overall pick. So we had 35 guys in front of him. That's impressive. It's really amazing to me when you think back and you go, why did he last that long? He signed for the Reds, or with the Reds, for $6,000 plus college tuition. Boy, you talking about getting a steal. Good Lord. Imagine doing that nowadays. Johnny was the player of the year for the Peninsula Grays in the Single-A Carolina League. He hit .294 and had 22 home runs and played great defense. Yeah, I believe it. In 1967, he was named the Minor League Player of the Year by the Sporting News. He hit .259 and had 23 home runs with the Triple-A Buffalo team. And I bet. Great player. Greatest catcher of all time. So, at least in my opinion. At least the greatest catcher I've ever seen. Okay, let's say that. So we come to Mr. October, and everybody knows who that is if you're a baseball fan. And most of us are, or most of us that watch these videos are. So, Reggie Jackson, the great Reggie Jackson, here with the Oakland Athletics, or Oakland A's. Love those green uniforms. Is that a beautiful card or what? I know there's some glare on that. That is a beautiful card. I love that. Love the green batting helmet. How would you like to have that batting helmet in your collection? That's kind of cool. There's the back. Of course, Reggie had a fantastic career. MVP, All-Star, the whole 9 yards, everything, you name it. But he had a great career. 563 lifetime home runs, if I remember right. I think it's 563. So there's his card. Talk about Reggie a little bit. Of course, Reggie could fill up a couple of these index cards too. He debuted with the Kansas City A's on June 9th, 1967. And then a Friday doubleheader against the Indians. In the second game, he got his first major league hit. So that's pretty cool. He hit a memorable home run in the 71 All-Star game. And if anybody saw that game, they would remember. And I did see that game. The American League won that game, I think, like 6-4 or something. He hit a home run that hit a transformer on the right field roof off of Doc Ellis. So it hit the transformer in right field and bounced back. If it hadn't hit the transformer, it would have gone out of the ballpark. But I bet you can probably find it on YouTube. So he stole a career-high 28 bases with the Baltimore Orioles in 1976. I wonder how many of us knew that. His crowning achievement, of course, came during the 1977 World Series in Game 6 in the deciding game. He hit 3 home runs in 3 consecutive at-bats. And the Yankees went on to beat the Dodgers 4-2. And there's quite a few of us remember that. He was the first Major League Baseball player to hit 100 home runs for 3 different teams, which I did not know until I looked it up. So that's Reggie Jackson. Now, I didn't find a lot about him in the minors, but just a little bit. But here's his in-action card. Does that look like he took a third strike to you? I'm not sure. What is that, third strike or home run? One or the other? And this one has the price too. And it's got some paper loss. Aaron smashes some kind of career homer, 600, but there's no paper loss on the back, so I can't read it. But that's okay. There's Reggie's in action. We'll put that right there. We'll talk about that a little bit. He was drafted by the Kansas City Athletics. He was the second player chosen in the June 1966 Major League Baseball draft. I can't remember Chilcott. And I don't know even if he ever played a Major League game. You guys check and let me know. Can you imagine Reggie Jackson was picked second? Just saying. So he met, I think him and his father met with A's owner Charlie Finley and agreed to an $85,000 bonus. Not bad, because he was coming out of Arizona State. He played for 2 minor league teams in 1966 and hit 21 home runs in 68 games. So not too bad. Again, we had 5 different players. We had some Hall of Famers. And we had some in-action cards, which were pretty cool. So we are now up to 436. So we got 340 cards to go. So another 34 weeks of this. So I know that's a long time. Because I like doing 10 at a time. It lets me get through these videos in 15, 20 minutes, give or take. Just show you my index cards. And one week I'm going to show you the stack I've got over here, because I've got, the stack is about this high right now. So I will show those. Certainly when we get down to the last video in this series, I will show you. I have a stack of 787. Plus I have a couple extra cards, custom cards I'm going to show, because I'm going to honor a player that I really love this guy. So I'll honor him. He'll be cards 788 and 789, because I have an in-action card of him and a regular card. And they're custom, so I will show those. And that'll come up when we get down to the last part of the series and all that. But I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. I get started on the next week's cards, and I get, it takes me, I do a couple cards a day, maybe, or 1 or 2 a day. Some of them take a little bit longer than others. The ones that really have small or short careers, obviously it's like, that takes a little bit more. Like, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to put down on my index cards and all that? So, but at least with the Hall of Famers, there's so much information on Baseball Reference and all that. So it's pretty cool. But when I get up to Nolan Ryan, and he's 595, I think, I will consider doing maybe just a video with Nolan Ryan, and we'll show his 72 Topps card. And I think I have a custom also of his. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great Sunday. I hope you enjoyed these 10 cards this morning. We had 2 more Hall of Famers, Johnny Bench and Reggie Jackson, 2 of the all-time greats. So that's kind of fun when we get into the really, the Hall of Famers are cool and all that. And everybody knows them. So anyway, you guys have a great Sunday out there, and we will talk to you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.